Hello students, this is Waqar Ahmed, your economics teacher from Cambridge International School, Dasua. And as you are aware that in this online initiative, we are on chapter number 11 of macroeconomics, which is foreign exchange rate. In the last lesson, we covered the topics foreign exchange market, foreign exchange rate and foreign exchange systems, means how the exchange rates are decided. And in today's class we will be talking and discussing about two most widely used and most happening or popular terminology from this chapter, which affects our economy, which affects global economy. But before moving on to that topic, let us discuss or let us recap what we have studied in the last lesson. So, what is foreign exchange rate? It refers to the situation when prices of one currency are expressed in terms of foreign currency or in terms of another currency. Let us say that $1, 1 US dollar is equal to 50 rupees or 50 rupees is equal to 1 US dollar. We use both of these terminologies, but generally as we discussed in the last class, the first methodology is most popular or widely used. Like $1, when the value of our currency, domestic currency is expressed in terms of foreign currency, means $1 is equal to 50 rupees is indicating to me that I require 50 units of Indian currency to buy 1 unit of US currency. So, that is foreign exchange rate. Now, let us talk about different types of foreign exchange systems. I have used the word forex, which indicates foreign exchange. So, we talked that generally there are three types of foreign exchange systems. First, fixed or pegged exchange rate system. Second, flexible or floating exchange rate system. And third, managed floating exchange rate or dirty floating exchange rate. So, we will compare them and revise all three of these. Meaning, fixed exchange rate refers to that rate when exchange rate is determined by a central authority or government. In flexible exchange rate, this exchange rate is decided by the market forces of demand and supply. And third, managed floating, when exchange rate is determined by market forces of demand and supply, but in case of extreme fluctuation, means extreme upward movement or extreme downward movement of the domestic currency, the central bank RBI in case of India interferes and brings back the currency to its desired exchange rate range. So, these are three different systems. Now, as far as determination of exchange rate is concerned, fixed is determined by government or central bank, means central authority, flexible by the market forces of demand and supply, and managed floating generally by demand and supply, but there is definitely scope for RBI to interfere. Then what happens or what is the terminology which we will study today as well when the rate changes, because rates are very fluctuable and they keep on changing on hourly basis, on daily basis. So, what is the term we use? If in fixed, and you need to kind of hear it very attentively, if in fixed exchange rate system rates go up or down, we call that it is a situation of revaluation if it is going up or becoming stronger, and devaluation if it is going down or becoming weaker. Similarly, in flexible, the terms appreciation and depreciation are used, and in managed floating, although it is inconsequential, still it is depreciation and appreciation. And last point, what is the role of RBI in these three systems, or RBI or central bank or central authority or government, whatever ways an examiner can ask, but the meaning will always remain same. So, as far as fixed exchange rate is system, there is absolute or full role of RBI. In case of flexible or floating, there is no role of RBI, and in case of managed floating, there is partial role of RBI. So, this was all about different types of foreign exchange systems. Now, as you can see on your screen, one ice cream is equal to 50 rupees, or we can say that 50 units of Indian currency are required to buy 1 unit of ice cream. So, basically it is an exchange rate in which 1 unit of a good ice cream can be purchased by giving 50 units of Indian currency. So, here the exchange rate will be 1:50, one ice cream 50 Indian rupees or Indian currency. Now, this is exchange rate between ice cream and rupees, and this is generally the case with all the goods and services, and this is exactly the case with currency as well. Why? Because when I say that $1 is equal to 50 rupees, then I am saying that I require 50 units of Indian currency to buy 1 unit of US currency. Now, in this screen, if we change this ice cream with dollar, then it will become an example of exchange rate which we studied in the last lesson. So, basically exchange rate is when 1 unit of a good, of a service, of a currency is expressed or exchanged with some x units of another currency. So, let us come back to this example. One ice cream is worth 50 rupees. So, this is the exchange rate between ice cream and Indian rupees. Now, because of some causes, or the demand of ice cream increases, which leads to the situation that now one ice cream is worth 100 rupees. Now, you can see on your screen, earlier if we were giving one note of 50 rupee, now we need to give two notes of 50 rupees. So, as compared to the first situation, in second situation, what we generally say in our economy, in our society, in our home, that ice cream has become expensive. अब आइसक्रीम महंगी हो गई है, पहले 50 रुपये देने पड़ते थे, now we need to give 100 rupees. So, what is the other way of saying? The other way of saying this same very situation is that rupee has become cheaper. आइसक्रीम अगर महंगी हुई है तो रुपया सस्ता हुआ है. Got my point? So, this is the situation which we will study today. What happens now? Exchange this ice cream with the dollar. Earlier we were paying $1 for 50 rupees. Now we need to pay 100 rupees for $1. So, dollar has become expensive. Like in this example, ice cream has become expensive, or we can say that rupee has become cheaper, and this goes on daily in international forex market. Like you can read in your even today's or yesterday's or tomorrow's newspaper, rupee is 75, 73, 74, 72, 68, 88. What is that? That means the value of rupee is changing against US dollar, which is making rupee weaker or stronger, or cheaper or expensive. So, this is the topic of study which we are going to kind of study further in today's class. This was an example to make you understand that it is not kind of a difficult thing. Like we purchase ice cream, we purchase dollar. Like ice cream becomes expensive, dollar becomes expensive. Like ice cream becomes cheap, dollar becomes cheap, and this is a general phenomena with all the situations. So, first of all, currency appreciation. It refers to increase in the value of domestic currency in terms of foreign currency. Means now we need to pay less units of domestic currency against foreign currency. Now onwards, I will be using rupee as domestic currency and US dollar as foreign currency. So, currency appreciation shows a situation when we need to pay less rupees to buy 1 unit of dollars. Means domestic currency becomes more valuable because we are paying less than earlier. That is showing that now rupee has become more valuable, and we require less rupee to purchase same amount of foreign currency or foreign goods. For example, Indian rupee appreciates when price of $1 decreases or falls from rupees 50 to rupees 25, meaning now we can buy $2 from the same amount which is rupees 50. What does it mean? It means, and let us say that $1 was equal to, or $1, the exchange rate was $1 is equal to 50 rupees. Now what happens, or when I say what happens, there are so many reasons which we will not study now. So what happens, that exchange rate changes. Now we need to pay just 25 rupees to purchase $1. So what has happened? Now we are paying less amount of domestic currency, means domestic currency has become more valuable, it has appreciated. Now if we have got same 50 rupees, we can purchase $2. Earlier we were able to purchase only $1, and this is all about currency appreciation. So it is a situation whenever, let us say, examiner might ask you in question that exchange rate is $1 is equals to 70 rupees. Now it becomes $1 to 60 rupees. What does it indicates? It indicates we are paying less amount of domestic currency. And always remember, when we pay less amount of domestic currency, it makes our domestic currency more valuable, and it refers to the situation of currency appreciation, which in newspapers is written as rupee has become stronger. Why stronger? Means it is not doing any exercise, it is not going to gym. Stronger because it has become more valuable. Now we need to pay less units of domestic currency against foreign currency. That means our currency has appreciated, has become stronger. Now what will be the effect of currency appreciation on imports and exports? And it is kind of an important question from board's perspective. So we know the meaning of appreciation, as we discussed just, that when the less units of domestic currency are required to purchase same amount or 1 unit of foreign currency, it shows that currency has appreciated. Means, as you can see on your screen, Indian rupee appreciates when price of $1 falls from rupees 50 to rupees 25, meaning we can buy $2 from rupees 50. For example, earlier I was purchasing something from US and I need to pay $1. Okay. So what I did, I went to the bank, I gave them 50 rupees, they gave me $1, and I paid that $1 to the US company. That was the mechanism. Now what happens? The value of domestic currency has appreciated, or the exchange rate has become from $1 to 50 rupees, now $1 to 25 rupees. So when I will go to the bank with same 50 rupees, now bank will give me $2, because now the value of $1 is just 25 rupees. So when I go with the same amount to the commercial bank, I gives them 50 rupees, they give me $2. I goes back to my US industry and gives them $2, and they will give me goods worth $2, although amount of Indian rupee 50 was same earlier and is same now. But what has happened? Our currency has appreciated, meaning that when currency appreciates, we can purchase more goods, more US goods with same amount, 50 rupees, and it will lead to increase in imports. Imports means when we buy or purchase goods from foreign countries and brings them into our country. Now earlier I was bringing into my country only $1 worth of good. Now I am bringing in $2 worth of good, although I am spending the same 50 rupees. So what is the bottom line? When currency appreciates, it leads to increase in imports, because US goods has become cheap and I can purchase more with same amount of Indian rupees. So always remember, currency appreciation leads to increase in imports. Now the second situation, which is currency depreciation, and it is just the vice versa situation of currency appreciation. So currency depreciation refers to a situation in which the value of domestic currency decreases, means we need to pay more units of domestic currency to buy 1 unit of a foreign currency. For example, like we have just taken that very same example, if the exchange rate is $1 to 25 rupees, means we need 25 rupees to buy $1. Now that changes to $1 to 50 rupees, means we need 50 rupees to buy $1. So this is the situation of currency depreciation. Why? Because more of domestic currency from 25 to 50 is required to buy that very same 1 unit of US dollar or foreign currency. So it is the situation of currency depreciation when we need to pay more units of domestic currency, and in newspapers it is generally the most used term because our currency is generally depreciating more. So newspaper writes it, rupee has become weaker, rupee has fallen. So that is the situation of currency depreciation. Weak rupee means we need to pay more of our units, or more of Indian rupees required to buy 1 unit of US dollar. That shows weakness of Indian rupee, and that is why currency depreciation is also written as rupee has become weaker. So what will be the effect of this currency depreciation on import and export? So we have studied the theory. Now let us take an example from an Indian company's point of view. There is an Indian company which is exporting goods to US, and they are exporting, let us say they are exporting pens, writing pens to US, and one pen is worth 5 rupees. So if we take the exchange ratio from $1 to 25 rupees, they were getting $1 from US, and they were sending 5 pen, 5 into 5 which is 25. So got it, $1 was coming into India, and Indian company was exporting 5 pens because one pen is of 5 rupees. Now this exchange ratio doubles, or $1 is equal to 50 rupees. Now that earlier $1 was coming to the Indian company, now $1 will come to the Indian company. So there is no change in the earning of Indian company. But now because $1 is worth 50 rupees, Indian company will have to send how many pens? 10 pens. Earlier they were sending 5 pen for $1. Now they need to send 10 pens for $1. So currency depreciation, we can safely say currency depreciation has resulted in increase in exports. Yes, because earlier $1 was kind of equal to 5 pence. 5 pence were being exported by Indian company, but now because exchange rate has doubled, they need to send 10 pence. So currency depreciation results in increase in exports, or weaker rupee leads to increase in exports. And this is the exact methodology which is applied by China, and this is just for your knowledge, which is applied by China to increase its exports. Whenever Chinese companies or Chinese government see that their products demand is decreasing worldwide, what they do, they decrease the value of Chinese currency. So decrease in Chinese currency makes Chinese goods cheaper, and more of Chinese goods are exported. So this currency depreciation or currency devaluation is the methodology through which China keeps a competitive edge over other economies of the world. So when China can do it, why we cannot do it? Its answer you will get in the last of your lesson. I have given you 2 or 3 YouTube links through which you can understand why India or other countries are unable to do or use the methodology being used by China. So this knowledge part apart, let us just make a quick revision. Currency depreciation leads to increase in exports, or weaker domestic currency leads to increase in exports. So let us compare the situation of appreciation and depreciation to shed some more light on these concepts and make them understand more clearly. So currency appreciation means domestic currency has become stronger against foreign currency, meaning less rupee is required to buy dollar. For example, exchange rate shifts from $1 is equal to 50 rupees to $1 is equal to 25 rupees, meaning earlier if we require 50 rupees to buy a dollar, now we require only 25 rupees to buy a dollar or to buy goods worth $1. So now if we have got same amount which was 50 rupees, we can buy more US goods, means increase in imports. Vice versa, as far as depreciation is concerned, it is just the opposite of appreciation. Now in this situation, domestic currency has become weaker against foreign currency, meaning more Indian rupee is required to buy US dollar. For example, if the exchange rate was $1 is equal to 25 rupees and now it has become $1 is equal to 50 rupees, means we can buy half dollar from same 25 rupees, or we require 50 rupees to buy $1, means we can export more Indian goods to US, and depreciation results in increase in exports. And now here are two problems to test your knowledge, to test your understanding of the concepts, whether you have correctly understood the meanings of appreciation and depreciation, or the stronger rupee or the weaker rupee. One thing more which I would like to tell is that sometimes examiner asks what is the difference between appreciation and revaluation, or what is the difference between depreciation or devaluation. So theoretically there is just one difference, rest everything remains same, and that difference is the exchange rate system. So if our rupee is becoming stronger, it means if we are using fixed exchange rate system, then we will say rupee is revaluating, it is a situation of revaluation. And if we are using flexible exchange rate system, then we will see that rupee is appreciating. Similarly, if rupee is becoming weaker, that means in fixed exchange rate system we will say that rupee is devaluating, and in flexible exchange rate system we will say rupee is devaluation. So appreciation, flexible exchange rate system; revaluation, fixed exchange rate system. Similarly, depreciation, flexible exchange rate system; devaluation, fixed exchange rate system. Other than that, there is no difference between all these. And now these are some links which you can see and understand that in macroeconomics why currency exchange rates are important and how does they affect the economic development or welfare of its pupil. First link is kind of medium to difficult to understand, and second is a bit easier. And I would like to clarify that even if you are not able to understand anything from these YouTube videos, which although will not be the case, you will definitely get major parts of these videos, there is nothing to kind of think that you are not able to getting anything. It's not an issue. It is just like I think that these videos are kind of informative, valuable, that's why their links is being shared. Other than that, there is no use of these links. These are just to make you more kind of aware about the things you are studying about. So that's it for today. Tomorrow we will start with the topic that how in a flexible exchange rate system exchange rates are decided daily, and what if the demand and supply which decide the flexible exchange rate they change, what effect they will have on the import and export or appreciation or depreciation of a currency. So stay healthy, stay inside. Bye.